What up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com. Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. Oh, it's Species Sunday. In your face, unshowered, doing the video before the Browns have to travel to the Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers. I'm a little nervous about them going in there. Aaron Rodgers is a beast. Whedon is not a beast, but the defense is playing tough. I think they got some wide receivers out on the Packers. We'll see. Got to make the video beforehand, though. Keeps me much more fired up, much more in line, much more focused. Hope you and your football team does well on this Species Sunday. So today I want to talk about something that I have in every single one of my planted tanks, and I think that you should too within reason. And I think they're a good part of the whole, like, keeping it like nature, keeping it real. I want to talk about snails. That's right, folks. Show you the 125 while I talk about this. I got some snails up there to show you in a sec. But look, this tank has and probably will always have snails in it. I'm fortunate enough that I have got a nice balance going on, and I talk about this in the Dirty Tank Guide, a balance a little bit. But which, by the way, is not out yet. I'm frustrated, but we're doing some technical things. Anyway, snails are in here. I've got pond snails in here. I've got Malaysian trumpet snails in here. Most importantly, though, I've got loaches in here. All right, so this loach right here, we'll be able to take care of them. So I want to talk about these snails here. I've got two types of snails today. 2 for 1 Species Sunday. How pumped would my wife be if she came in and watched me putting snails on her fresh, clean plate? We got 2 snails, the bad, the good. That one right there. Okay, so these 2 snails. We got pond snails here. This is not a pond snail. Move that. The pond snail, okay? Not good to, I don't know. They multiply like crazy. They're hermaphroditic, which means they got boys and girls parts. Isn't that crazy, right? So they're basically, the joke is they're born pregnant, right? They eat live plants. They shred lotus leaves. And also they crush Pogostemon helferi, for those of you who have it. I don't keep that plant, though. So, I mean, they multiply like crazy. They eat plant leaves, but they do a decent job of just kind of like rooting around on the substrate a little bit. They're more of a surface skimmer, but, I mean, they do clean up some stuff. So, pond snails, not a fan of them. Malaysian trumpet snails, these boys with the trumpet look. I don't believe they're hermaphroditic, which means they have both parts. So they need like, you know, a male and a female to reproduce, which is unfortunate because these are actually better. These snails prefer dead plant matter over live plant matter. So I'm just gonna pick one of these up and show you. Trumpet snails. I wonder how they got their name. But very cool. I've seen these get almost an inch long. Unfortunately, like, loaches just don't care. They'll eat whatever snail it is. So if you're gonna get snails, look for the Malaysian trumpets. Really good. Brian's talked to me about this before, and I'll show you the tank too. Brian's talked to me about this before. He says the only beef he has with Malaysian trumpet snails is they can get in the impellers of your Fuvals and Eheims and filters and all that good stuff, because this thing just like crushes it out. But it's never happened to me, knock on wood. So that's what I want to talk about. Snails, the biggest way to not get them in your tank is to remove them from the plants before you get them. Look, I sell a ton of aquarium plants. I do not dip my plants before I ship them out because they're going to be in a bag for so long. So what you do is this. You get 5 milliliters of water, one little capful, one little tiny little capful, and you put it in a gallon of water, and you put them in there for like 5 or 10 minutes. And that's what Steve does. I actually don't do it because I just throw them in whatever. But that will remove the snails and the snail eggs. You can also put them in salt water. I don't have the mixtures available for that. So those are 2 ways just to not have them in your tank. Some people are just so anti-snail, it kind of drives me crazy, to be honest. Oh my God, I got snails in my tank. Good, get a fish that eats it. It's a reason to get another fish, in my humble opinion. But that's a way to not have them in there. If you do have them in there, obviously loaches are a good way to go. You know, I've heard of people doing a big piece of lettuce in a jar where they set the lettuce down in there, and they'll all like climb to the lettuce at the nighttime, then you can just remove the lettuce. I want to show you guys some of the snail. The snails have done damage to some of the shells. So you can see there's a little shell there behind my Weitzman Corey cat. Another one back there with some algae on it. Some of these snail shells. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't let them in the tank at first if you don't want them. But look at this loach. You think he's made to eat snails? He's got like a pointy head, 5 spiky little things in his mouth, just pow. I've got a video on those as well. which I think I'll link to. So that's what's going on. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend and are getting excited for a great week ahead. I know I am. Dirty Tank Guide's coming out soon. The only way you're gonna get it is if they're on the Aquatic Jungles newsletter. I'm also doing a lot on Facebook these days, and I finally got an Instagram, although I suck at it, so I'm trying to get my photos up on there, kind of show you guys some stuff during the week. That's a different beast, by the way. So just another thing I'm doing, Dustin's Fish Tanks on Instagram. So that's what I'm doing, everybody. Yeah, make it an awesome week. Tank on.